Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And the new banner for the FRIEREN collab with Raphael cosplaying is out. And I've had a chance to test her during the stream, and she's just kind of like, she's good. She doesn't blow me away. She's got a few little interesting things you got to work around. So, overall, I really don't think you should summon for her unless you're in desperate need or you desperately want the collab characters. This Raphael is considered a collab character because she has FRIEREN's, armor, jacket, cape, whatever outfit on. She will not be returning later on. This is the only chance to get her. Also, things to note is that the bingo board does have a free dupe of this. It's gotta go to the event right here. Oh, it's a lot of stamina. Okay, so if you clear out all of these missions, you can get a free dupe of Raphael and then some more crystals on the other pages. But if you do pull this Raphael, you do get a free dupe. And if you do not pull Raphael, and you do these bingos, you'll get a free dupe of her that you can't use, and then it'll just sit in your box forever. There is a Part 2 event shop, so Part 2 right here, where you can get dedicated unique gear for this Raphael. So you don't have to make a new gear. You can just give her some leftovers until you get this gear leveled up. Also, they added a bracelet for Stark that also gives him bind evasion. Right here, Stark's bracelet. When equipped by Stark, 100% bind evasion. So that's new. I didn't know they were doing that. But let's talk about what Raphael does down here. So magic, space, uses a hammer. Adventurer, Stern of Spirit, Fountain of Wisdom, Wielder of Magic. Support alt 150%. Adventurer Force gets extra 25% weakness strike every time you alt with her. And trust me, you're going to be doing that a lot with this team. Her first skill, the one we did not know mostly, is a 70% flat attack buff. And then 100% weakness resistance down at a baseline level. But you can add 10% by alting with this Raphael, Rimuru, whatever you want to call him. And that goes up to a total of 150% debuff. So maxed out, you alt 5 times with this Rimuru, and you'll get 150% weakness resistance down, and you'll get whatever stacking weakness strike that you get from the support alt. So, there is a lot of power to be had technically by this character, and by maxing it out, you're going to get... so we have to do that at 25% minimum. So that's 125% alt or weakness strike that's permanent. If it's EX alt, it doubles. So you can get up to 250 or something, or 200%, depending. It's very powerful. The condition is you have to alt a lot, which in some cases you don't want to do. So in Ranked Valor, I'm not going to alt with this Rimuru. So it's going to just always be 100% down. In Jubilee, yeah, you're going to do that. But, a bit weird. The ceiling, there is a higher ceiling, but most people are not going to see that. And then the second skill, mistranslation on the global dev skill preview. It did not have a second part of this, where transfers own another random character's soul card times 3. So she's a triple orb stealer. But she also converts those orbs into oranges. So that was missing off of the global side. So not only does she triple orb steals, she triple orb steals and changes them to oranges, which in some cases can be good, and in some cases could be bad, depending on if the stage nerfs oranges or something. And then also gives oranges a 50% protection gauge buff. So, there are good and bad things about this kit. I don't really like the orange convert on the orb steal for generalized content later down the line if oranges become nerfed a lot again and you don't have a rainbow orb changer coming in right after Rimuru. It's not really the greatest thing in the world, but it can work in some cases where you do want some extra alt gauge, and you've got at least 3 guaranteed oranges for whatever nuking character you're going to bring in that you've stolen orbs for to begin with. Protection gauge for oranges only works on an orange team, but if you're stealing orbs with Raphael, then you're going to get 3 of those, and you're going to get extra protection gauge from those as well. So there are benefits to using these skills together in combination and everything. So it's just a bit wonky. We have characters that give attack. We have characters that do weakness or resistance down. We have characters that triple orb steal. And only a few characters give protection gauge of that amount on oranges. But, she is taking a lot of those and just wrapping it up in a nice one little box, which is cool and everything. But as far as summoning for this Rimuru Raphael, for most people, I would probably say no. If you already have a triple orb stealer and you're happy with that, and you're not super impressed, then I would skip. If these effects are a bit too weird and wonky for you to play around with, I would just skip. So, if you're a collector and you want the collab characters, then yeah, fine, be my guest. But we know that Fern is coming. Fern, people were asking during the stream, Fern is coming. She was actually in the data mine earlier today for this banner. Like, here's her art. So she's in here. She's probably not going to drop until next Saturday or next Thursday or Friday, somewhere around here, the first, second, or third. But she is in the data, and she will be coming next week. She will be the final banner for the collab. And I assume a lot of people are saving for Fern. And in that case, I think that this Raphael Rimuru cosplay is a very easy skip, especially if you're wanting more Fern than anything else. So if you already have Himmel and Frieren, then I would just save your crystals and wait for Fern. If you do not have Himmel or Frieren, I would continue summoning for them first, and then whatever else you have left, I would put towards Fern when she comes out. But I really don't advise too heavily on summoning for this Raphael unless you're afraid of missing out and you've got some FOMO on the Frieren collab, or if her kit genuinely interests you. I'll work on the showcase tonight and tomorrow. I'm kind of busy tomorrow during most of the day, though. So, I'll try and do what I can. But overall, I just don't think you should summon. The other featured characters in this banner are mostly the same as what the Himmel and Frieren banners look like, with the Hinata from Fount of Wisdom also being added, because there's only one new character instead of the two new characters on the other banner. They replaced that with Fount of Wisdom Hinata, who did just get a skill fusion in the EX Awakening, but still, Hinata's super duper old. We don't really use her for really anything. Like, now with her fusion, she could do a lot of extra damage, but we don't really use Hinata in most things. So the only character that I would really consider telling people to pull from this banner is Commander Shizu, but she's the only one. I think this Rimuru is very skippable. I can't really advise people on summoning on this banner. Not when we know that Fern is coming and she's another hype character that people want. She, I think, will be a single target light DPS character, but hold grains of salt with that one. But yeah, that's about all I really have to talk about. Even though there is a Part 2 shop, there are not free multis for this Rimuru banner. People would suggest that because Part 1 has tickets, that Part 2 would also have tickets. Not true, so that's unfortunate. But remember, there is the free gear here. The raid event will probably give Fern's gear in some way, shape, or form, once that is over. But I would just hold your crystals and save for Fern, quite honestly. As long as you've got Himmel and Frieren, then I would just stop summoning. But, if you did summon for Raphael, let me know in the comments how your summons went. Did you get lucky? Did you get shafted? I got fairly lucky, 100 pity. I didn't get an animation for it, at all. It was just, hey, you got a 5-star. Oh, it's Raphael. Okay, cool. But other than that, that's all I really have to say about it. I'll start working on the showcase tonight, but that's it from me. Take it easy, and I will see you all later.